On March 27, 2010, thousands descended on the National Mall from all parts of the country.
I'm from D.C.
Long Island, New York.
Williamsport, Pennsylvania.
Annapolis.
From Salt Lake City, Utah.
I'm from New Jersey.
North Carolina.
People from different places, but all united for a cause. The National Walk for Epilepsy raised over $3 million to promote awareness for epilepsy, a serious neurological disorder that triggers seizures. While medicine can help control seizures, there's currently no cure, and the event hopes to provide funding for promising research. The walk took place on a 2-mile course and included everyone from families and children to people with seizure dogs, and even those in wheelchairs suffering from severe brain injuries. But in the end, supporters were met with cheers at the finish line.
Team New Hope! That's great!
For some participants, just finishing was a proud accomplishment.
Actually, during our walk today, there was a young lady who had a seizure before she made it to the finish line. And my prayer was, although she was having it, that they would get her to the finish line. And that's what it's all about, is to try to help bring a cure for it.
And it's a common story. This Annapolis group says epilepsy awareness is a family affair.
Me, I suffer from epilepsy due to 2 brain surgeries. My daughter's had it since she was about 10 years old. Even on my job, because I suffer with it, a lot of people used to ask me, why do you leave the building when there's a fire alarm? Well, with the fire alarms that they have today, the strobe lights and the sounds can trigger an epileptic seizure. So for me, it's a good awareness on my job.
While most people with epilepsy are fully functioning, others have more severe forms.
This is Kimmy, and she has a syndrome called Dravet syndrome, which is a severe epilepsy syndrome. So we came out to talk to our senators as part of the Kids Speak Up program, and then we stayed for the walk.
Our daughter suffers from epilepsy. Actually, she suffers from Lennox-Gastaut syndrome, which is a severe form of epilepsy. And she started out as a normal child up until about 3 or 4 years old, and then all of a sudden she had a seizure, and it's regression, some autism.
And sometimes the effects of epilepsy can be deadly. One New Jersey mother marched in memory of her son who died of a seizure.
Well, my son Stephen had epilepsy for 6 years, and he died from a seizure. Our family is committed to coming every year. We've come for the last 4 years since the first walk, so it's a very nice thing to do, and we support what the Epilepsy Foundation does.
She, along with her son Chris, a student at Notre Dame, hope the walk will bring about a change in policies.
Well, you raise awareness, you raise money. I mean, that there is zero research right now for epilepsy, and somebody needs to get on it.
I'm also a healthcare provider, so what needs to happen is more research to evaluate brain and brain function.
After the walk, tents were set up featuring everything from live music to information about disabled legal rights to canine companions, the seizure dogs. But the biggest draw of all was a chance to meet Eagles cornerback Jeff Pope and Cardinals guard Alan Faneca, both of whom didn't let their epilepsy get in the way of playing for the NFL.
You know, I don't want anyone to have to live with this condition or lose time and have a bad living life while dealing with epilepsy.
You know, it's been very positive. I had a very strong support from my family and friends, and it's a little scary at first when you first find out about it, but it's been really positive.
Actor Greg Grunberg of NBC's Heroes founded TalkAboutIt.org, which seeks to eliminate the stigma attached to epilepsy.
Unfortunately, there's such a stigma attached to epilepsy, and has been for so many years. You know, it's like people don't talk about it. They don't want to talk about it with their friends, and the truth is, as you know, it's not scary if you know what's going on. We should be talking about epilepsy the way we talk about cheeseburgers. Just talk about it like anything else.
But above all, for people living with epilepsy, the walk lived up to its motto, "You don't walk alone." In Washington, D.C., I'm Tom George for Maryland Newsline.